Why do so many guys with a fashion-based hobby dress so terribly? It is not uncommon to see a raw denim, Goodyear welt boot, or automatic watch enthusiast post to a subreddit to brag about their new niche acquisition while looking like a complete goofball. I've decided to name this type of guy a gear guy. This archetype exists in other spheres as well, but for the sake of this video, a gear guy is someone with an interest in a particular aspect of style who doesn't dress well. They take the mindset of an obsessed fan and bring it to a style-based topic, but they don't extend this intensity outside of their particular interest. This is seemingly strange. If you like boots or watches, why don't you make sure the rest of your outfit looks good? Amongst many men, there's a false idea that caring about how you look or dress is gay or effeminate. This is a concept completely foreign to most of history. Go ahead and look back at many of history's greatest heroes, and you will see men who understood the importance of one's image. My hypothesis is that this fear of caring about how you dress comes from the overly casual culture that we live in. In reality, it's nothing more than an excuse to stay lazy. Because this feeling exists, many men who want to start dressing better and taking care of their image often need a way to justify this feeling to themselves, or they need a way to justify their new interest to those who might not understand. The gear guy creates a false solution by turning dressing well into a technical hobby. Generally, there's no shame in men caring about technical pursuits or hobbies. Which hiking boot is the best? Which ski jacket should I buy to stay warm? Men love gear. The absurd popularity of EDC videos proves this easily enough. This gives a curious guy a way to get into clothes while still covering him if he feels a bit uncomfortable. Developing an eye for clothing and style is very difficult. Trying to find items that fit you and that you feel like are really you is a personal and sensitive process. It can take a long time to find the style that fits you. It takes trial and error to learn what silhouettes or sizes you like, and this is exacerbated by the fact that the amount of information being passed along via organic processes is at an all-time low. How many fathers actually teach their sons how to tie a tie these days? Heck, how many fathers even know how a suit is supposed to fit in a way that they could actually pass that information on to their sons? This type of information was much easier to come by even in the very recent past. The amount of well-dressed grandfathers and local craftsmen like tailors and cobblers has taken a steep decline in recent decades. These wise men made learning how to dress well a more organic process. Many of these natural and organic ways of learning how to dress are gone. Unless you have a particularly well-dressed father, most well-dressed men these days are self-taught through the internet. The self-led online approach to fashion naturally leads many men to use the mechanisms that they're used to find information. What are these mechanisms? For most men, it ends up being Reddit and YouTube reviews. Boards like r/male fashion advice on Reddit are famous in the online fashion community for recommending unimpressive and milquetoast styles. In many of the circles and communities that I frequent, this is a very common problem. Boot communities are like this. They're full of people who can tell you the history of the company that made a pair of boots, where the leather is from, what process was used to tan that leather, how long the tannery has been in business, etc., etc. And then you click on the Imgur link in the bottom of his post and you see the boots on his feet, and bam, you're struck with this dude wearing his awesome boots with a terrible pair of athletic taper chinos. It's enough to make a man weep. It can be odd to see one person know so much about one specific aspect of style, yet be completely incapable of putting together a good outfit. I noticed this most obviously with a lot of guys online. They'll have a beautiful watch that costs the same as the down payment on a small house, but they choose to pair it with a synthetic polo shirt and tapered chinos. This one famous watch YouTuber named Nico is a great example of this. No hate towards him, but he really is an exemplar of the gear guy that I'm trying to get at in this video. Oftentimes, these people will have a sense for what is beautiful and what is high quality in their chosen hobby space, but this doesn't carry over to their entire style. There's a certain inverse of this issue as well. With fast-moving fashion trends online, more people than ever want to be into fashion. So because of this, a lot of them latch onto shallow vibes or aesthetics. This is unfortunately happening with many of the styles that I enjoy right now. The amount of TikTok Japanese denim buzzword videos that I have seen is pretty impressive. There's definitely a group of people online who care about looking cool and putting together good outfits, who adopt styles or trends without caring about the history or the culture. These videos will scream, "Japanese denim is the best in the world," and then they leave no other interesting commentary for the rest of their video. To be fair to them, there is certainly a strong case that denim made in Japan really is the best in the world. But if it is, let's actually have a nuanced conversation about that. Let's say something substantive and add something to the conversation. The solution for the gear guy isn't to become a reckless consumer like these people. That would just be an excess in the exact opposite direction. There is a lot to admire in the gear guy. He knows a lot about his interests, and oftentimes they're a part of a strong community built around their hobby or interest, and these are good things and they're worth prioritizing. If you like my content, please make sure to like this video and subscribe. If you want more in-depth content from Classic Americana, check out my Substack linked in the description of this video. One of the beauties of Classic Americana style is that it offers a great philosophy for the gear guy. Many of the sub-styles that make up Classic Americana style have long storied histories to learn. They often have vibrant communities built organically by the fans of these specific sub-styles. A great example that fulfills both of these is the prep and ivy style. There's even a lot of overlap between these more gear-focused communities and the more style-focused ones. In my opinion, the most obvious example of this is in the boot community and the denim community, which also largely overlap. These have a strong gear bro community within them, but they also have a strong fashion and style-based community. And the most obvious of these specifically is the amikaze style community that is especially popular on Instagram. These communities are full of people with a deep knowledge and appreciation for the history of the styles that they love, and they really know how to put together a good outfit. O.W. Root is a menswear writer who is a great example of this for the ivy style. He writes extensively about classic menswear, and his specific focus is on prep and ivy. He knows the history, he knows the facts about different makers, and he puts together excellent outfits. I love the fact that O.W. Root in his writing really emphasizes the dignity of dressing well. I think the solution for most of these gear guys is really pretty simple. If most of them were to just shift their style away from the contemporary cuts and proportions over to more classic and timeless shapes, they'd already be halfway there. Shirts with a fuller fit, higher rise and wider leg trousers, these two things would do a lot of heavy lifting. You don't need to copy exact vintage details, become a reenactor or a LARPer. Classic style proportions look good at all times. I'm convinced that behind the focus intensity of gear guys lies men with a natural aptitude for dressing well. And I think that if this is applied to Classic Americana style, that these guys will end up looking amazing. Just to clarify, I didn't make this video to hate on people with niche hobbies. I can talk about denim for longer than almost any normal person cares to listen. The real message worth communicating is that everyone should dress well. You don't have to justify looking good as a niche hobby if you don't want to, although being super into clothes or super into a part of the clothes certainly does help. In my opinion, Classic Americana style is great because it's built on timeless principles. Well-balanced proportions, heritage fabrics, classic aesthetics. You don't need to be a clothes nerd to dress in a Classic Americana style. If you're a gear guy or just someone who's really into a specific aspect of clothing or style, be sure to let me know. Does this pitch appeal to you? Is it something that you're interested in? Would you be willing to try out more classic cuts and fits and items? I'm really curious what you guys think. Make sure to let me know in the comments below. Before we end, I want to take a quick moment and thank you guys all for liking and subscribing. I've really grown a lot in the past couple months, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback I've been getting from you guys. Today is Monday, February 16th. This is when the video is going to be coming out as well, later in the day, granted. And on Thursday, February 19th, I believe, I'm going to be doing my 1,000 subscriber live stream and thank you Q&A. So you can come into there, you can ask me any questions that you have, you can just come into chat. I'm going to spend the time cleaning and polishing some of my boots and shoes. Anyone who comes in, feel free to ask me any questions, talk, chit chat back and forth, and I will be sure to interact with the chat and say what's up to you guys. For more on Classic Americana style, make sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on Substack in the description below, and I will see you guys next time.